recording. I'll show you all the answers in the context of the question, and then I will take up any of these questions that you would like. Mackenzie River should be 4,241 kilometers. The St. Lawrence is 3,058. What are you doing, Bilal? Okay, well, let's look at the screen for now. The Quebec City was 137. Halifax, frost-free days are 155. And the mouse is 3 years old. One of the things I want to address with the mouse problem is I saw some people setting it up like this. You have m times 10 plus m equals 33. That is the correct way to set up the problem. Because if you look at it, it says the bear is 10 times the lifespan of the mouse, and the sum of the bear and the mouse is 33 years. The problem I saw with this, the m times 10 plus m, is I saw students saying that, yes, okay, I need to group my like terms. So m plus m is 2m. They did this. 2m, and then they times it by 10 equals 33. This is incorrect. You need to remember that when you write something like m times 10, a number times a variable, that is just this. It should be written as a coefficient and a variable. So m times 10 is just 10m. And then this becomes easy. 10m plus m is 11m equals 33. Divide by 11, divide by 11. The mouse is 3 years old. That's it. So that was those first three questions I assigned. The second three questions I assigned were 6, 7, and 8. The answers were Winnipeg is 20 days, 10 and 17 were the side lengths in question 7, and 75 cents is the cost of a pencil. Would anyone like me to do any of those three questions? Would anyone like to see them demonstrated? Nobody wants me to do them. Yes, Josh. Number 7, here we go. So one of the equal sides of an isosceles triangle is 3 meters less than twice its base. The perimeter is 44. Find the lengths of the sides. One of the things that I encouraged you to do that I didn't do any examples of, for those who missed this conversation yesterday, was, if necessary, draw a picture to help you identify the problem. When they give you a shape, draw it. If you don't remember what an isosceles triangle is, ask. An isosceles triangle is a triangle where 2 of the 3 sides are the same, and the third one is different. So these 2 sides are the same, and we're told that these 2 sides are 3 meters less than twice the base. Okay, well, 3 meters less than twice the base. 3 meters less means I'm taking 3 away from something. What am I taking 3 away from? 2 times the base, and I'll call the base b. Well, if this is 2b minus 3, then this is also going to be 2b minus 3, and that means I've called the base b. So there's some implication there. And I'm told the perimeter is 44. So if the perimeter is 44, that means the sum of these sides is 44. So 2b minus 3 plus 2b minus 3 plus b equals 44. I want to group our like terms. I have 5b minus 6 equals 44. We're going to add 6 to both sides, so 5b equals 50. Divide by 5, divide by 5, b equals 10. So if the base is 10, the 2 equal sides are 2 times the base minus 3. 2 times 10 is 20, minus 3 is 17. Josh, did that help? And then the last one I gave you off this page was question number 10. Depending on how you interpreted question 10, you either got the numbers 4 and 9, or you could get the answers, the numbers 3 and 8. Depending on your interpretation of the problem, both of those are acceptable answers, depending on how you read the thing. Would anyone like me to do any of the problems that I have not yet done? Yes, Hassanjo. Scarlett and Hassanjo both want 10. Here we go. So, reading the problem, one number is 5 more than another number. 3 times the first plus twice the second is 30. Find the numbers. So we've read the thing. I'm going to variable for what we're looking for. We're looking for 2 numbers. So let's identify what we're looking for first, and then we'll assign variables after. It says one number is 5 more than another. So let's just make it really clear here. I'm going to go, I've got one number and another number. And these are the 2 things I'm looking for, one and another. So one of them I need to call x, and the other one is going to be related to the first one. Well, one of them is going to be related to the other one. So it says one number is 5 more than another number. So if this guy is 5 more than this guy, I'm going to call this guy x, and I'm going to call this guy x plus 5. One number is 5 more than another. So I've got both of these unknown numbers related to the same variable. This is where the 2 methods for, like the 2 different ways you can interpret this problem are going to give you these 2 different answers. If you interpret this question as saying 3 times the first plus twice the second is 30, if you read this as a first number and a second number, as the smaller number is the first number and the bigger number is the second number, like if you're going in numerical order, you would say that 3 times the first, that one is obviously smaller than this one because this one's 5 more. So you'd say 3x, 3 times the first, plus twice the second. Well, it's 2 times what? X plus 5, which means I need to put x plus 5 in brackets. So 3 times the first plus twice the second equals 30. You solve this by distributing the 2. You're going to get 3x plus 2x plus 5 equals 30. You're going to, oh, what am I doing here? Oh, no, that's a 10. I did not distribute properly. So I get 3x plus 2x plus 10 equals 30. So I'm going to get 5x plus 10 equals 30. So I'm going to get 5x equals 20, so x equals 4. I got 4, the second number is 9, we've got this result. But if you interpret this problem a different way, a totally valid different way, if you say 3 times the first number, and instead of going in numerical order, you go in question order, which number shows up first in the question, that's the 1 number. So if you say instead that the first number is the 1 number we called x plus 5, you're going to get 3 bracket x plus 5 plus twice the second. So the second one that shows up in the problem is the another number. So we're going to get plus 2x is still going to equal 30. So now I'm distributing in a 3 here. I'm going to get 3x plus 15 plus 2x equals 30. I group my like terms. I get 5x plus 15 equals 30. I subtract 15 and get 5x equals 15. I divide by 5. I divide by 5. I get x equals 3. So if x is 3, the other one's going to be 8. Both of these are totally valid ways to interpret the problem. It wasn't clear enough in the wording of the problem for you to definitively say one of these is the better answer than the other. So if you're sitting there doing this test and Sean does it this way and Hassanjo does it this way, both of them get it perfectly correct. Because there's some ambiguity in there, even though their answers are obviously different, they've outlined, as long as for this test, all the word problems, you need to show me, you need to demonstrate that you understand the methods that we're using. Reading the question, pulling out the information, declaring variables, setting up equations, solving, like this is the method I want to see. I don't want to see guessing and checking. If you're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to subtract this and divide or add this and divide, You need to have a good reason for it. The algebra is the reason for it. So that's question 10. Scarlett and Hassanjo. Did I sufficiently answer your questions regarding question 10? Okay. The second thing I asked you guys to do for homework was this page. If you did it or not, I'm going to give you the answers here. I love to go camping. Tom said intently. Because when you camp, you're in a tent. I think I'm sick. Tom said fluently. Because flu. And light the fuse, Tom said wickedly. Because of, wicks. And that was it. That brings us to the end of the book. Your chapter test tomorrow, some of you have been asking me about it, I don't think is overly complicated. I think it is simpler than a lot of the things I've assigned to you this chapter. I try to give you as much of the worst possible stuff in the booklet so that when I give you the test, I can dial back some of the difficulty. So I think the test is easier than the stuff I've given you in class. That said, the last 4 questions are all word problem style questions, but those 4 word problems have been taken from these 5 pages. This page, this page, this page, and these pages. Oh, maybe this page. 6 pages. I took them from the booklet. I assigned odds over here. I assigned 2 to 4, 6 to 8, and 10 over here. And I assigned this page. So if you've done all of it, you've done the 4 problems that are already on your chapter test tomorrow. They come from this. Which means if you haven't, then you haven't seen them. They are if you did this page requires you to do all of them. So there's one off of this page. If you did this page, you've definitely done that question. I'm not going to tell you which one. Because if you haven't done it, now you got to go back and find it, play with it. But the word problems that are on tomorrow's test come straight from this booklet. I did not change anything. The numbers are what the numbers are in this booklet. They're identical to the word problems that come out of the back of this. There's 4 of them. Tomorrow's test has 5 numbered questions, 1 through 5. But each question has like A, B, C, D. Well, some of them have A, B, C, some of them have A, B, one of them has, I told you there's 4 word problems. So question 5 is all of the word problems. Part A, part B, part C, and part D. So that is what tomorrow's test is. I spaced it out to give you lots of space on it, I think. Ample space to do each question. And it's 2 pieces of paper double-sided. Like it's not large. I think if you know what you're doing, like if you're really comfortable with this chapter, 20 minutes you can finish this thing. If you're really struggling with this thing, I still think you're going to get it done in an hour. Like it's not big. I think you'll be fine. So you've got most of you, I think, except maybe Bilal, have the review assignment that I gave out on Thursday last week when I was away. Bilal, you were away on Thursday. You were away yesterday. And German, you left yours on your desk yesterday. So I'm going to try and give that to you again. You have the reviews. Anything in there is fair game. The whiteboards are free to use. The only ones I ask you not erase are the 2 up the front. This one will be useful for you. This will not be up tomorrow. But it will be up for the rest of today. Please don't erase that. That means that's where I'm left in class. So, if you have comments, questions, concerns, please ask. Otherwise, you have your task and of course do it. You didn't get one? Or you lost it? Were you here last Thursday? My TOC, she wrote names for all people who were away. Okay, so, all right, the other class asked me this as well. Just so you all didn't, if those of you who didn't hear what Samir said, she asked if a calculator was available tomorrow. You may use a calculator. You should not need the calculator, but if it makes you feel better to have it, it will be available to you. Because I don't want the arithmetic to be the thing that screws you up. I want, yeah. You will be allowed to use a calculator, but the numbers are such that you should not have it. Okay, there you go. Get to it. Let me know where I can help, where needed.